What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Now, last week we did a theme, and if you haven't checked that out yet, please go do so. We did our anthology theme, and it was just a really good week overall. So seeing as last week was a theme week, this week we are doing horror battles, and the two films that I chose to battle are both adaptations from two well-known authors, two great novelists. One a little bit more than the other, but the thing that makes this battle interesting is the two authors that these films were adapted from. Their stories were adapted from. They are father and son, and you may know who I'm talking about. It's Stephen King and Joe Hill, and the two films I decided to battle is Stephen King's Thinner and Joe Hill's Horns. Okay, so I'm going to start off by reviewing Thinner, which was made in 1996. This film was directed by Tom Holland, starring Robert John Burke. And as I said before, this is adapted from a story by Stephen King. One of his short stories, one of his lesser-known ones, not as popular as stories such as The Shining, Salem's Lot, Carrie, and many other of his novels that he's done. He's my favorite author, always has been. I really love his writing style. This is actually a story that I have yet to read, but I really do enjoy the film, and I'm going to dive into that now. So, the plot around this one follows Robert John Burke's character, and I believe he plays a character named Billy, and he is some sort of I'm not exactly certain what his job is. He's not really a political figure or something within the town. Whether it be a judge, whether it be a lawyer, whether it be a mayor, I'm not exactly sure what he is, but he's something up there to where he knows people. He has friends. He has friends in low places, friends to get him out of anything. And basically one night, him and his wife are driving down a road, and his wife decides to give him a little oral pleasure, and it goes wrong because while she's doing that, he actually runs over a woman and, in turn kills this woman. And, of course, since he is higher up and he knows a lot of people, he gets off. He doesn't, get any prison time. And for that, he finds out that he runs over a gypsy woman, and her father is very pissed and hell-bent on vengeance. He wants to get revenge on this man who killed his daughter and, got away scot-free with it. And he places a curse on him to make him thinner. And this guy's a really big guy, 300, 400 pounds, is really big guy, maybe even bigger. And he gets a curse placed on him, and the guy says thinner, and he starts losing weight really, really fast, dangerously fast, to the point where he has to try to reverse the curse in whatever way that he can to save his life and to save his family. And, try to come back from the crimes that he's committed by killing this woman, and basically the hell that he started with her father. So that's the story. I don't want to go any further into it because I don't want to spoil any more. Very interesting. Like I said, I haven't read the short story, so I can't really say much about it. I've heard good and bad things. I know people who like and, I know people who love and hate this movie. So it's a 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't. Me personally, I'm one of the people who really enjoy this one. I thought the effects were good. The acting was good. Stephen King also makes a cameo in here. He has a little appearance, which is really cool to see him. He usually does. In any movie that's adapted from his stories, he usually is in every one of them, which is cool to see. But I really enjoyed this one. Great directing, great cast, great vibe, great atmosphere, and a great story. So that is my review over Stephen King's Thinner. I really want to get a chance to check out the book. Until then, I really enjoy the movie. So, yeah, my review over Thinner. Okay, so now I'm going to move on and review Horns, which was directed by Alexander something. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name, and for that I do apologize, but Alexander something. And it was initially made in 2013, didn't get a theatrical release until 2014. This one stars Daniel Radcliffe, Juno Temple, Joe Anderson, James Remar, yeah, as I said before, it was initially released in 2013, theatrically released in 2014. This is one that I had heard so much about and I wanted to check out for so long, and when I saw it at Walmart for 13 bucks, thought it was a great deal, had to pick it up and see what all the hype was about, and I got to tell you, it did not disappoint. I was really Really impressed with this film. So it stars Daniel Radcliffe, of course, from the Harry Potter films. Just a really cool change of pace for him, seeing him in a film like this. Very dark, toned film, has a really deep and twisted plot to it. And as I said, it was based off of a novel written by Joe Hill, loosely based. Yeah, so now I'm going to dive into the plot. So the film is basically about a character named Iggy, and we see him from the time he's a child. He meets a girl named Marin. He falls in love, and this is true love because they grow up together. They start dating at a young age, and they grow up together. And you can truly see what love is through these two characters. They are meant for each other. Something happens, and Marin passes away. And everyone is suspicious of Iggy, and they think that he is who killed his love. And that's all I really want to say about it. I'll say one more thing. Some things happen, and somehow Iggy is cursed, and he grows a pair of horns out of his head, and let's just say that when he gets around people, the truth starts to spill out. That's all I'm going to say. Don't want to say anymore. I don't want to spoil it. It's a very, very easy film to spoil. It's a very twisted, like I said, very twisted, very intriguing and interesting and complex story to go into. I really, really enjoyed the acting from everybody. I felt sad at times for Iggy's character, for Marin's character, for everyone's character in the film, besides one. And it was just a really good story. It was horror mixed with mystery, mixed with supernatural, mixed with a romance kind of thing. It was a really good film all in all. Loved the direction. Loved the acting. Daniel Radcliffe. I've never been a huge fan of Harry Potter, any of those films, but I thought he did a great job in Horns. I thought he brought Iggy to life from paper to screen, and I thought everything worked out really well. I loved the tone of the movie. I loved the effects, the demon effects. That's all I'm going to say. Really liked that, and yeah, just a really good film. Once again. I have not read Horns by Joe Hill, and I have not read Thinner by Stephen King. Those are two stories that I have not read by both authors, and that's surprising because I love Stephen King so much that I've read a lot of his novels. So yeah, I'm gonna have to read both books and see which one I like better. But yeah, Horns, great film. All the hype that surrounds it, guys, it is totally justified. It is a great film. And possibly one of my favorite films of 2014. I really, really enjoyed this one. So there's my review over Horns. Okay, now that I've reviewed both films, it is time to battle them to the death, starting with round one. Round one, acting and directing. Which film do I think had better acting and a better direction overall? Now, that's easy for me, guys. I'm going to go with Horns. I think the directing by Alexander... I'm not exactly sure the last name. I do apologize for that. If it's AJ, Aja, something like that, I don't want to sound stupid and get their name wrong, but it's Alexander something. Whoever the director is did a great job directing the film, really caught the vibe, really caught the tone well, and the actors in this one, great cast, really, really good cast. You got, like I said, Daniel Radcliffe, you have Joe Anderson, who I believe was in the Crazies remake. You've got Juno Temple, you've got James Remar, you've got just a great cast all around. Add that with great direction, add that with a great story, and you've got a great film. So I think overall, Horns definitely takes round one in terms of acting and directing. Round two, story and originality. Which film do I think was more original, and which film do I think had a better story? Once again, guys, I really liked the story in Thinner, thought it was very interesting, but not as interesting as the story in Horns. Really liked it. Like I said, I loved everything mixed together. Horror film, mystery, suspense. You got some comedic elements. You got a romance mixed in. It's really all in one to make one great film overall. Not just a great horror film, but a great film in general. So I really do think it was more original. Had a more original concept as to where Thinner. It was about a curse. This one was a lot different than just a curse. Granted, both films are basically about curses with individual characters, but this one was a lot worse and a lot crazier than the one in Thinner to me anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with horns for round 2. Round 3, special effects. Which film do I think had better effects? Um, well, neither film has, loads and loads of special effects. They're not really needed. Horns has a few scenes. Thinner has a few scenes, especially with the man losing weight, going from big to small as quickly as he does. It's difficult. There's one specific scene at the end of Horns. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. That makes me want to go with Horns. But generally, I guess I'm going to have to go with Thinner for showing the man go from big to small and how much weight he loses in such a short time and making him look really, really sick. They did a really good job of that, and everything else added in with that. So I'm going to be generous and nice and give Thinner round 3 because I do really like how they how they show him lose weight throughout that very, very quick period of time. So I'm going to go with round 3. Thinner takes round 3, although Horns had one really good scene. I don't want to spoil it with Daniel Radcliffe, and that's all I'm going to say. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So, Thinner takes round 3. Round 4, personal enjoyment and replayability. Which film do I personally enjoy more, and which film would I pop in right now and watch? And guys, without a doubt to me, I'm going to go with Horns. Really, really liked it. As I said before, one of my favorite films of 2014. Definitely my top 3. Loved it, loved the acting, loved everything about it. I don't need to say any more because I've already said it all. It's just a great film. Definitely check out Horns. And I also really liked Thinner. It was interesting. I thought it was a pretty good adaptation. I've never read the novel. I've never read the short story, I should say. So I don't know how well it's taken from the book itself. But it's a fun horror film. Check it out. It's not great, but it is good, and I do enjoy it. So there you go, guys. That is my horror battle over Stephen King's Thinner and Joe Hill's Horns. Horns has won. It has defeated Thinner. It has taken the cake. It's come out victorious. Great film. Definitely check it out if you haven't. And I'd highly recommend Horns. And if you want to, definitely give Thinner a watch as well. It's not as good as Horns in my opinion, but pretty good film. So comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this horror battle. Do you prefer Horns or Thinner? I'm really curious to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions on these two films. Stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow, Chris Brock will be battling 2 films of his choice, and that will continue through on the week. Through on out the week with all of our members. And thank you so much for watching. I'm the Jay Sloan. You just watched Late Night Frights. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.